Well, we have a special guest with us. Joining us via Skype is Father Mel of the National Association of Priest Pilots. Thank you so much, Father Mel, for being with us.
Thank you.
Could you tell us a bit about the founding of the NAPP?
Well, you got a little bit of a misnomer. I didn't start it, but I was there at the beginning. Two priests from Kentucky did a flying trip back in about 1963, and when they landed for fuel, they asked if they knew any priests that flew, and they were amazed how many there were, so they put a couple of ads or notices in flying magazines and decided to host a thing in Covington, Kentucky in July of 1964. And so I was at that, and I've been involved in it ever since. And since that time, we just decided it was a good thing for priests who like to fly airplanes rather than chase golf balls around or something like that. And then we had some things that happened that kind of changed our focus. I remember I started putting out the newsletter, and I got a news item from Bishop Arkfield down in New Guinea. And by the way, he's a native Iowan like I am. And he said, you know, this is the greatest thing that's happened, because he said, down here, when I go to the farthest corner of my diocese by boat, it's the only way I can go, it's 30 days. If I fly, wow, it's 30 minutes. And he said, most people think that flying is a rich man's, so on and so on, and said, this is putting a whole emphasis on how important the airplane is in evangelizing. And then shortly after that, or a few years after that, Francis Hurley was made the Bishop of Juneau, Alaska, and then ultimately Archbishop of Anchorage. And he became a great advocate of using the plane, which they do up in Alaska. And then I got tied up with a priest from Detroit who was a missionary in Tanzania. So he's been over there about 35 years, and so we've got hooked up with that. So we became sort of got a missionary aspect of supporting people that are using the airplane and flying. So that's been one of our main concerns now for the last 55 years.
And I know didn't you have an airstrip on the farm in Iowa?
Yeah, we did, yeah, for about 32 years, yeah. So when my folks retired, they're both passed away now, but when they finally moved off the farm, then we plowed up the strip. But yeah, I have two brothers that are priests. My one his brothers died, but I taught them to fly. And at one time, we had 6 pilots in the family, so we got a lot of use out of that.
Huh. You mentioned evangelization, too, Father Mel. Didn't the Vatican have something to say about how priest pilots can be evangelizers?
Yeah, one of our early members was Monsignor Sennett from Boston, and he'd been Cardinal Cushing's secretary. And so through him, he got... the Holy Father at that time was John the 23rd, and he got him to write a little thing about what the plane could be used in evangelization. Yeah, so.
Wow.
Amazing.
And I know that the website priestpilots.org has some great newsletters, highlights of the mission of priest pilots too. What was it about flying that attracted you almost 60 years ago?
Well, ever since I was a little kid, I think I drove my mother crazy with all the little model airplanes I built hanging around my bedroom. But it's always something I wanted to do, but I never could. And then when I was ordained and I got to my first assignment, I was getting out of the car. There's a man walking down the street, and he said, "You must be the new priest." I said, "Yes." And, well, he said, "I'd like to talk to you, but I haven't got time. I got to fly." So I said, "Are you in the reserves?" He said, "Yeah, in the Navy. I'm on my way to St. Paul to fly." I said, "Well, if you can get a civilian aboard, I'd like to join you." "You like to fly?" I said, "Yes." "Well," he said, I've got an offer to the priest." So he said, "I'll teach you to fly." So that got me started.
You know, I understand. A little birdie told me that you are about to celebrate your 90th birthday and that you have 2 brothers who are priests. Is all of this information correct?
That's right, yeah. But my younger brother died about 7 years ago. But
God rest his soul.
Yeah, and yeah, I got my birthday coming up on Monday, so.
Beware, too. There's like a bear in a Superman suit that's flying right behind you. I don't know if you know that, right over your shoulder.
Yeah, I can see it back in the background here, yeah. That's a gift from somebody, and so they got it hanging in my bedroom here. So.
Very good. Well, Father Mel, this has been fantastic. I'm so happy that you're able to take the time to talk to us. I'm so happy to see that you're still flying even as you approach your your 90th birthday. Where can people learn more about the work of the Association of Priest Pilots?
Well, as he mentioned before, we have the website, and there's a place on there, if you get on that, there's a place on there you could pay. So we have associate members too, lay people, and so we accept any contributions that people make, and we pass it on to, we have people in Alaska and Tanzania and different places around the world that we're supporting, and so it's we'll welcome anything that anybody wants to do. So if you just go to that website, that www.priestpilots.org, you can get on there. And then also all the past newsletters that we put out for over about 50 years now are all on there. And you can find out a bunch of nonsense and also a lot of the good stuff.
Very good. Well, priestpilots.org is the website. I'm going to check it out myself. Father Mel, thank you so much. And may I be the first to wish you a happy 90th birthday.
Thank you.
Okay, God bless.